Hey, it was good. So this is a response video to 78 Sports TV, who just made a great video on Keith Urban and why he's not ducking Errol Spence, but he went off. That video is one of his best works. I suggest you guys watch that video, and also to Fight Critic, his video on boxing is not a popularity sport. I think that's what that video is called. And both of those videos were just talking about boxing fans. How sometimes a lot of us are really fickle and whiny, and we favor our own fighter, and we support fighters for popularity. We support fighters just because they get more love or where they're from. And it's cool to be a fan, but being a fanboy, as Critic says, is a whole nother thing. Like, you could support a fighter, be cool with the fighter, but to justify his every single move is just ridiculous. Like, let's say Andre Ward, you're an Andre Ward fan. Go figure. Let's say you're an Andre Ward fan. Paul Smith, okay, you're like, all right, he was coming off a long layoff. It's cool. But he fights someone else on Paul Smith's level next. Like, no. That's not justified. Unless he's being ducked at his own division, not by Triple G, not by someone in a lower division, because he's not being ducked by him because he's in a lower division. So unless he doesn't get another fight by, let's say, Carl Froch, Andre Durrell, what's his name, DeGale, George Groves, Bottle Jack. There's a bunch of competition for him to fight, a bunch of world champions there. But he fights someone else on Paul Smith's level. That's when I have a beef with that. But if you're justifying that, something like that, then that goes on fanboy level. You're justifying what these guys do, everything they do, no matter what, just because they're your favorite fighters. Just because you're cool, just because you support them, doesn't mean that everything they do is all right. That's what they were talking about. You just want to watch your favorite fighters, popular fighters, Danny Garcia's, the Amir Khan's. Oh, they haven't earned the right to fight him. But a Julio Diaz earned right to fight Amir Khan. But a Rod Soccer earned the right to fight Danny Garcia. A Robert Guerrero fought Mayweather. Victor Ortiz fought Mayweather. And you're telling me a Keith Thurman can't get a shot at Floyd Mayweather? But if they fight a guy with a name, then they could get a shot. Man, you're not a promoter. I say, if you were making money from that, that's cool, man. Oh, I don't want Mayweather to fight him because he's not going to have sales. That's why that fight doesn't... It makes sense because it's a guy in his division and he's being challenged and he's a contender, and if he's rated number 1, he should fight him. Or if he's another world champion like a Kell Brook, he should fight him. That's why a fight with Kell Brook makes sense. It's not about popularity. It's he's a champion. I'm also a champion, Mayweather. I'm also a champion. Let's fight to prove who's the real champion. You have a duty as a champion. Or are we in an era that we don't care about titles? Because I care about titles, man. And I honestly, I don't see a reason to watch boxing if there's no championship, if there's nothing to strive for a fighter. If the titles don't mean anything, then what the hell are they fighting for? I know, yeah, to make a living and all that, but the title used to mean like you're the best of the best and everybody wants you. Everybody wants to fight you. But now you got a Kell Brook having to call out Amir Khan. A champion calling out a potential challenger. What the hell is that? Just because Khan has more Twitter followers? Kell Brook hasn't earned the right to fight him? Sean Porter hasn't earned the right to fight Mayweather? When he destroyed his little mini-me on PBC? It's boxing fans are fickle, man. They're some of the worst fans. I'm gonna say they're some of the worst fans. The only other fans that I can think of are worse are wrestling fans. Wrestling fans are horrible. They're always shitting on any product. They always find every little teensy weensy thing. Every little thing. And that's what we find too, man. You always have to find why this fight sucked or why this fight shouldn't happen, why this fight isn't financially, doable. I'm not making money off Mayweather's fight. Mayweather got paid $200 million plus. I didn't make a cent of that. I know it's cool. It's like cool to find out and all that. I just made a video about Ward doing 300 views and whatever. But I'm not in the hole for that show. I didn't put money in that, so I didn't invest in it. So I wouldn't have got an investment back anyway. You're acting like if you were making the millions of dollars that Floyd Mayweather was, man. Oh, that is a good fight, but no, it won't sell. Who gives a damn if it sells or not? The promoters do, but you're not a promoter. Are you even a boxing fan? It doesn't matter when you started watching. Because some people want to say, oh, when did you start watching boxing with Mayweather? It doesn't really matter when, but it just matters if you respect the sport. I watch it for the sport, for the athleticism. Which man's the better man? The best fight last week on Saturday was David Lemieux versus Hassan Ndam, and they made 100 grand total, 50 grand each. They made the least money of anybody on either card. They made less money than Phil LaGreco. I think he made like 100 grand. So both of those guys, Hassan was a former world champion, contender, fought for a world title before. David Lemieux is a popular guy in Montreal, which the fight was in, and that was a world title fight. But they made less money than anyone that night. But that was the best fight. See? Or so I haven't heard anyone say this, but if you're gonna shit on that fight, like, oh, those guys didn't even make money, why would I watch that fight? No one cares about that fight. They're not stars. That's just for me to prove that there could be two guys that are very good fighters, but just because they're not very popular doesn't mean they're not good fighters and could put a hell of a show, man. Fight Critic was talking about Winky Wright, I think Bernard Hopkins. Who else did he say that was? Vernon Forrest, man. How those fighters are, to use the phrase of my series, underappreciated. They're underappreciated, but they're still very good fighters. Kell Brook's a very good fighter. Sean Porter's a very good fighter. Just because they're not undefeated, they're not stacking millions, doesn't mean that they're not worth watching or that they shouldn't get a title shot, man. They beat good fighters. They should, Mayweather should want to prove that he could beat them. Man, if you're TBE, man, and I can't believe some people still believe that shit, that you're TBE, that you're the greatest of all time, man. Do the knowledge. Read a book, man. Read a fucking book. Man, you're telling me that Mayweather's better than a Jack Johnson or Muhammad Ali? Dude, come on. Boxing fans, man, you want to sell a fight. If I shit on a fight, it's just because it's I don't think it's a good fight. Not because I don't think it will sell. I didn't like Andre Ward versus Paul Smith because I'm not a big fan of Andre Ward's style. I could care less how he is. I've heard he's a really nice guy outside of the ring, and that's all fine and dandy. But I'm just not a fan of him inside the ring. He could be the best guy outside. I could have a great conversation in him. It doesn't mean he won't put me to sleep, dude. Or you could be a dick like Adrian Broner. If Adrian Broner was a great fighter, hey, all good. Muhammad Ali rubbed people the wrong way back in the day, but he was a phenomenal fighter. Floyd Mayweather is a great fighter too. You know, if he puts you to sleep in the ring, I don't mind you. But you want to say all this stuff, racism against him, you know, that's not cool. That's being the opposite of a fanboy. So you're just like a fanboy, except the opposite and worse, because you're making racial slurs, you're saying all this stuff, you're hating on a guy that you don't know, and you're attacking him personally, which you don't know him personally. I could only say what I see in the ring. I don't care what they do, how many millions you're stacking. I'm not a promoter. We're not promoters, guys. We're not making money off this boxing shit. It's just boxing. You want to talk about all this stuff that these guys don't deserve to fight this guy, and this guy's not even a world champion like Amir Khan. I don't deserve to fight a guy who got dropped by Julio Diaz. Kell Brook doesn't deserve that. Sean Porter doesn't deserve that. And you're the same guys that say that Malignaggi versus Danny Garcia is a good fight. I'm not gonna lie, maybe stylistically it might be, but to argue that Malignaggi deserves to be deserves a shot at against Danny Garcia just because of his name, even though his ass just got knocked out. And if you want to say that, I've heard some people say, "Oh, it's his first fight at welterweight." No, it's not. Danny's been fighting at welterweight his last few fights at a catchweight. 143 is a welterweight limit. That should have been his welterweight prep. He should be fighting Roberto Garcia if he ever made it. No, he should be rematching Lamont Peterson. And look, I don't even like Lamont Peterson that much. He's a cheater. He got caught using PEDs. But he won that fight. He should have won it. If Danny Garcia was my favorite fighter, I'd still say that he should have won it, that he should have lost. No? I want to see Lara against Triple G. I want to see Ward against Triple G. Why not? Let's do it. But if Triple G doesn't move up, then Ward's not being ducked by him because he's in another division. Triple G's not ducking anyone in his division, so he's not ducking anyone. Lara's not in his division either, so he's not ducking Lara. Andrade hasn't fought in over. How could anyone duck someone if they don't fight? Andrade likes to say people are ducking him, but he's not fighting anyone. He's not fighting anyone. Boxing fans, talk bad about a fighter just because he's not popular or he doesn't like the style. If he got the goods, he got the goods. I'm going to say he got the goods. If he got the goods, even if I don't like him, even if I don't like his style. There's all styles in boxing, guys. There's guys with ugly records too that are still good fighters. Duran lost 16 fights. I think Sugar Ray Robinson lost like 24. People have ugly records and ugly styles too. One of my favorite fighters today, Salido, has an ugly record. I think he has like 13, 14 losses. But he's a veteran of the game. Anyone who's going to face him is going to have a hard time because he's a good fighter. No matter what his records say, there's intangibles in the ring that members can't say how much he's getting paid, just can't say what good of a fighter he is. And just because Mayweather is the highest paid fighter of all time doesn't mean he's the greatest fighter of all time. I don't find anything wrong with saying Mayweather is one of the greatest fighters of all time, or saying that he's the best of this era. That's not an insult on any sense. He's TB of this era. You could say that. That's cool with me, But of all time, there's going to be a gripe with that. You're going to be called out. And you want to talk about fighters, you're going to be called out. Someone's a bad fighter. Why? How? Because he's not popular? Is that why you picked Broner? Because he's more popular? Because he's more loud-mouthed? Yeah. So, just a not that quick response to some of the comments in the comment sections of some of these videos and to those guys' great videos. Thanks for everybody for watching. Keep uploading, guys. YTBC, fire, man. Just fire, all of you. Ghetto Superstar, Cigar, let's do it, Cigar. Coach, much love out there. Much love. Everybody, 78. Much love. Subscribe. Peace.